In a small town in America, there lived a young man named Jack. Jack was intelligent, hardworking, and had big dreams. However, he had one habit that often got him into trouble. He talked too much. Every time Jack learned something new, he couldn't keep it to himself. Whether it was about his studies, ambitions, or personal goals, Jack would announce his plans to everyone around him. He believed that sharing his dreams would motivate him, and he loved the attention and praise he received from others. His friends admired his ideas, his family was proud of his ambition, and his teachers often encouraged him. But despite all his big talk, Jack struggled to achieve success. He often found himself stuck in the same place, no closer to realizing his dreams. One day, Jack met an old wise man named Mr. Simmons at the town's local park. Mr. Simmons had seen Jack around for months, always talking about his future, but never truly accomplishing much. That day, Mr. Simmons called him over and asked, "Jack, you always talk about your dreams, but have you achieved any of them?" Jack hesitated. He had set many goals but had accomplished very little. Jack replied, "I try my best, but things don't go as planned." Simmons smiled gently and said, "Let me tell you a story that will help you understand why." Years ago, in a small rural town, there was a farmer named Ben. Ben was poor but incredibly hardworking. He had a dream of owning a vast farm filled with crops. Every day, Ben worked tirelessly, saving every penny. But Ben had one rule that set him apart from others. He never spoke about his plans to anyone. People in the town would often ask him, "Ben, why do you work so hard? What's your goal?" But Ben would simply smile and say, "You'll see when the time is right." As the years passed, Ben slowly began to purchase small plots of land. He planted crops, expanded his farm, and built a beautiful house. The people in the town were shocked by how much he had achieved, especially because Ben had never once bragged about his efforts or shared his plans. One day, an old friend of Ben's came to visit him and asked, "Ben, why didn't you ever tell anyone about your plans? Why didn't you talk about your dreams?" Ben smiled and replied, "When you talk too much about your dreams, two things happen. First, people will discourage you. Not everyone will be happy for your success. Second, the excitement you feel about your goals fades away when you talk about them. Your mind starts believing that you've already achieved something, and you lose the motivation to work for it. Silence protects your goals. Words are like arrows. Once they are shot, they cannot return. I chose to let my success speak for itself." Hearing the story, Jack was deep in thought. Mr. Simmons continued, "Jack, when you speak too much about your goals, two things happen. First, people may discourage you. Not everyone will celebrate your success. Second, the excitement you feel about your goal fades away when you talk about it. Your mind believes you've already achieved something, and that makes you lose the drive to actually work for it." Jack finally understood why his plans never worked out. He had been spending so much energy talking instead of acting. He realized that the key to success wasn't talking about it. It was about doing it. Jack asked, eager to improve. "Can I still change myself?" Simmons smiled warmly. "Of course. From today on, speak less and act more. Let your success make the noise, not your words. Remember, silence is powerful." From that day forward, Jack changed his approach. He stopped discussing his plans with everyone. Instead, he focused on taking action. He studied harder, worked tirelessly toward his dreams, and avoided unnecessary conversations. Months passed, and Jack began to see a significant difference. He was achieving more than he ever had before. His confidence grew, and he no longer needed external validation. When the results of his final exams were announced, Jack had topped his class. People were amazed at his transformation. His friends asked, "How did you do it, Jack?" Jack simply smiled and remembered Mr. Simmons' words, "Be silent and get everything." Years later, Jack became a successful entrepreneur, inspiring others with his story. He proved that true success doesn't come from talking, it comes from acting. Sometimes silence is the most powerful tool. Speak less, work more, and let your success do the talking.